exciting game here between the Crestwood Chargers and Redford Thurston Eagles. I'm Keith Burnick along with Mike Bruce. And Mike, we got Mike from downstairs today because Ed couldn't make it today, but we're happy that you're up here. I don't think you'd want to be down on that field anyway with all the rain we've had.
No, you know, Keith, I got my good shoes on tonight, and it's supposed to be a little cooler tonight.
You do too, don't you? I had
Yes,
to look just to make sure.
It's supposed to be a little colder tonight, so I'm happy to be up here.
Yeah, it didn't look like we're glad to be here. Didn't look like this afternoon we would be able to with all the rain and the lightning and et cetera. We didn't want to get our crew any lightning like that. One high school had it.
Whitmore Lake.
Yeah, Whitmore Lake. Couple players didn't actually even get hit, but on a football field with the rain the way it was coming down today on Friday afternoon, you know, it didn't look like it, but cleared up, and it's actually a gorgeous night for football.
Safety is a key thing, Keith, in high school, and maybe we should report that we found out that the quarterback from Annapolis last week just had a minor injury as far as his leg was concerned. We thought that maybe he had a broken femur, but I guess it was just a bruise.
Yeah,
so
minor compared to the way it looked, that's for sure. And guess, you know, you made a good point down in the field. You always have to take precautions. They not only do that in high school sports, but they do that in the pros and as well. Anytime you you know, get a little numbness, your head's immediately secured, and the helmet, you know, they noticed they didn't take the helmet off. So and one thing I do want to report to the viewers too, we were told that the ambulance did arrive in about 2 minutes that one day, and it was just that they weren't called because the doctor didn't call them in time. So here, at least I was trying to figure out why the ambulance took so long, but they did take 2 minutes, so they did get here quick. It was just the doctor didn't call them in time. The field's definitely got to be a little bit wet, Mike, so in college and especially in the pros, you'd say a wet field's going to help the passing game and help all the wideouts, but in high school you don't see the ball being thrown too much, and I'm wondering myself today if we're going to see it thrown a little more, because as a receiver you know where you're going when you're running the pass patterns. The DB doesn't, and that's an advantage of the passing game, so maybe we'll see the ball being thrown just a little bit more today.
Well, I know if you're Redford Thurston, you have to look at they're not able to block too well on the line. They had 9 sacks last week for a loss of 75 yards. So I don't know if they'll pass the ball quite as much as we expect them to. But Crestwood is a good passing team, and Lemoran gets the ball out pretty good to the wideout. So we could see a lot of passing.
Well, yeah, like you said, Redford Thurston allowed 9 sacks last week, so maybe they wouldn't be passing the ball too much. But hopefully, maybe Crestwood will throw the ball a little bit. Crestwood coming into the league games 1-1 so far overall. They're 1-0 in the league, and as you can take a look at the monitor, Redford Thurston lost their first league game, and they're 1-1 overall. So this is kind of a big game. Allen Park and Melvindale perennial. Can you say that for me?
Perennial favorites?
There you go.
In
perennial.
the Tri-River League?
Well, they're perennial. Well, I wanted to add an LY to that word. Can I do that? Well, they're good all the time. Let's put it that way. How about that? And they were 1-0 in the league and 2-0 overall. So looking forward to a good game here tonight.
Keith, one of the other things I read in the Observer today that we're going to have the national anthem here.
Okay, you tell us after the anthem.
Okay.
How about that?
Stripes and bright stars.
So our national anthem, and we're going to be underway here just pretty quick. And you're going to tell us what you read in the Observer?
Yes, Keith. I was looking in the Observer today and looking at the matchup in this game, and they were indicating that Thurston's quite a defensive team. Field conditions are pretty much in their favor if you look at it that way. If Crestwood can have a little bit of a ball control and maybe some quick dump passes, maybe they can control the ball a little bit. But from what I understand, Thurston is quite a defensive team, and they're not quite up to the offense. You know, when you compare their defense and offense, you just don't get the same comparison.
Crestwood last week, of course, if you watched the game, they played Annapolis, and not much of a challenge for the Charger team. Annapolis looked a little better than they did last year to me, but still got a ways to go in improving the program. But Crestwood with 353 offensive yards last week, 15 first downs. And the offensive plays were about the only thing that was pretty close to being even, and that was 50-40. But other than that, it was a total Crestwood domination. And against Garden City in the first week, a lot of people thought they should have won that football game. They lost 16-6, so we'll see if they can go 2-1 in the season, and more importantly, go 2-0 in the league. And they will be receiving. Joe McFarland will kick off. The ball goes to Dan Pyden, and Pyden out to the 30, to 35. Pyden almost breaks free, and he fumbles the football. And I believe that's Dave Crispin. And it is. It falls on it at the 40. And the first game we did at Robichaud High School opened up with a kickoff return. We didn't have one last week, but almost another one this week.
But Keith, you can see right there the wedge formed up the middle, and Pyden went directly up the middle, a la Mel Gray. Maybe not quite as quick, but great run. He's just got to hold on to the ball. And lucky break that they got that fumble. Good field position here for the first set of downs.
So Dan Pyden is the quarterback. Last week we saw him, and he was playing tailback. This week he is the quarterback. And Mark Lemmerin is not getting the start. Handoff. Jimmy Bates off the right side, and he gets a yard. And Mike, you made a good point about Thurston's defense, and they were there that time.
You know, it's surprising to me. We didn't get any indication that Pyden was going to be starting. I did notice that he was warming up with the first unit. Lemmerin, I believe, had, 4 touchdowns last week? And I guess he got delegated to second string for some reason.
He had a couple great runs. Yeah, one that was called back on that penalty. Second down and 9, a yard. Jimmy Bates just underway here at Crestwood High School. The Chargers against the Eagles, and I don't know, what's the name of the league?
Tri-River.
I should know that. That's right, Tri-River League. Bates off the left side, and Thurston again all over him. Give him 2 yards on the play. A number of Eagles in on the tackle, including number 56, Oliver Rue.
Got some pretty big linebackers there, Keith. 5'11", 225, 5'10", 280. That's a big linebacker.
Big team back there, so Crestwood could be in for a little bit more of a battle. They've lost some games in the 3-4 years I've been doing them. I've just never seen them lose. Pyden goes back to throw. Fires it over the side. It's going to be caught. Nice catch by Pilarski. And that's going to be more than enough for the first down. Nice looking throw by Dan Pyden to pick up of 8.
You see Marty Pilarski there. He did a nice curl in on the left side. He found, looks like Thurston was in a zone defense, and he came down and found the opening, and Danny Pyden hit him just right.
Yeah, those zones sometimes aren't what they're cracked up to be, and he definitely found a seaman at that time. First down and 10 for Crestwood at the 28-yard line. Jimmy Bates again directly behind Pyden. Handoff to number 20, though. That's Aaron Fisher off the right side. We got a flag, and 9 times out of 10, that usually means a holding penalty.
Looks like a block below the waist.
Maybe you're right. John Adams, 6'1" senior from Thurston, was definitely on the ground. It looked like Dave Crispin did something to him there that's going to back him up a little bit.
No, I think this is on Thurston, Keith. They're talking to Bates.
Who they talk? Who's Bates talking to down there, Mike?
I don't know. That's one of the referees.
We won't clue the viewers in just yet. We'll just keep it as our little joke for a while. Oh, Thurston players getting a little bit mouthy at one of the officials. I wonder who the officials give it right back to him. I'm not sure if that's the one we know. You obviously do know.
They're going to discuss this. To me, it's
And
been a while since I followed the signals, but it looks like it was some type of chop block behind the line of scrimmage.
I've never seen the coaches out in the field like this with a little bit of a discussion. So I don't know, really. We're waiting for something here to see what the heck's going on, but it's going to be a pretty big step off.
15-yard personal.
So that's a tough break for Thurston.
Foul, yeah.
Did you actually see the call? Was it a personal foul?
Yeah, it was a personal foul.
They didn't say what kind of personal
No,
foul.
the signal was chopping below the knees in the front side. I'm not sure if that's.
So now we got a timeout called by Thurston here. So, and 9 times out of 10, this is just going to give the coach another shot to yell at the referee. See if he goes to talk to his team, or if he's he's going to chat with his team a little bit. I think he might be telling them to calm down a little bit. They got awfully hyper for that first first penalty call. I guess that's good though. His team might be in the game.
Oh, they're fired up.
Yeah, we'd like to thank Matt's Catering again for all your catering needs. You can give Matt's a call, 278-6400. Again, they supplied the crew with delicious sandwiches. I heard rumors that I'm getting one at halftime. So
is that true?
Yeah. So maybe
I know I had one
halftime.
last week, and they were really good.
Excellent. And so give Matt a call for any kind of catering needs. Period. 278-6400. So it'll be first down for Crestwood. Take a look at Floyd. At the 14. Jason Fountain not close to this side. Alex Horvath, the H-back. Jimmy Bates, the fullback, lining up directly behind him. Aaron Fisher. Pyden hands the ball off to Fisher on the draw. Good block by Bates. Bates just actually led him through a huge hole, and Fisher's going to be close to the first down.
Nice play. That draw play, it looks like Thurston really reacts to the ball, and they let him overreact a little bit and then came through on the draw. Good play selection by Coach Carter there.
Crestwood has ran the ball 3 times previous to that. Really hasn't gotten a thing. A little misdirection, and could be right, Mike. They reacted to the ball, and a real good call. Give Fisher 9. It'll be second down and 1 from the 4. Hyden on the fake handoff, rolls, throws it wide open, and Jason Kevich
just out of bounds.
I believe that was close. He must have been out of bounds. I don't think he bobbled it.
Looks like he caught it, but it was out of bounds. Good pressure there by the Thurston defensive line.
So it's obvious, at least to me, Crestwood's going to throw the ball just a little bit more. Third down and a yard from the 5. This is where you like to have a fullback like Jim Bates.
Yeah, 240-pound high school fullback generally will get you that yard.
Bates directly behind Pyden, gets the handoff, hit behind the line of scrimmage, and it falls forward for about 2. But that's all that Crestwood needed. It'll be first down and 10. Actually, first and goal from about 3.
Looks like they're going to measure this, Keith.
Crowd starting to fill in.
First down.
It's first down and 10 inside the 5.
Keith, you got to be impressed with this first drive at Crestwood. They got the big penalty, but they are moving the ball fairly well down the field and taking control early on the line of scrimmage, I feel.
A couple good play fakes by Coach Floyd Carter is going to definitely keep the Thurston defense in line. Pyden hands the ball off to Jimmy Bates, and he's still on his feet. And did he get in? Touchdown. I thought he was down, Mike, at about the 2-yard line. And Bates just kept going and going and going, and rumbles on in for the score. And the coach of Redford Thurston, Bob Snell, not too happy with it. I don't know what he's complaining about. Well, maybe we'll take a look, Mike.
See if he gets stuck here in the middle and then keeps his feet moving.
I don't see
Looks
anything.
like he got over the line there. I don't know if he fumbled after he got over the line or not.
Maybe
you know, all they have to do, Keith, is the ball just has to break the plane.
I think maybe Bob Snell was arguing that he was down and his momentum was stopped, but Jimmy Bates kept the legs moving, and I think it was a good call by the officials.
Just
Kick
shanked that a little bit to the left.
by Thurston. So again, trouble with the kicking game for basically every team we've done so far this year, telecasted. It's going to come back and haunt you sooner or later.
You know,
And
Keith,
Crestwood misses the extra point at 6-0.
I'm looking at the flag down there. Earlier it was quite windy, but I was trying to think of an excuse for him there, but the flag is not really blowing that much. I think he just kind of missed that one.
This is a team that's not used to missing extra points with the Stojanoviches that they've had here. Of course, one of them kicking Pete in Miami for the Dolphins. So
Keith,
they're used to having a good kicking game.
last week Crestwood continually kicked to the opposite side of the field, short and high, kind of like what the Lions do. And I don't think Thurston scouted that very well, because it doesn't look like they got anybody over on that side of the field. So watch this kickoff here. Now he's going back over there. Well,
Didn't look like he hit it too good anyway.
No.
It's kind of hard to judge. That was Parcell, and he returns it about 12 yards out to the 32, so we'll see what Thurston can do after the 3-yard run by Jimmy Bates for the touchdown. They'll take over here, first down and 10 at their own 33.
good coverage on that kickoff.
Jeff Lance and Kevin Parcells out to this side. The quarterback, John Adams, a 6'1" senior, and we got a timeout already.
Got a timeout. It looks like Lemerand was hurt on the kickoff, Keith. And I don't know if they got, I think Pyden might be out there replacing him. Looked like Crestwood had to take timeout. They couldn't get their players out on the field in time.
So it'll be John Adams, quarterback number 3, and Pete Quinn will be the tailback, number 23. 2 wide receivers, Jeff Lance, number 1, and number 20, Kevin Parcells. We take a look at Coach Floyd Carter and the Crestwood defense.
Okay, and a lot of births. We want to send out another birthday with you. Jeff Solomon birthday today. And a special hello to Kate Bill Porter. Traveled all the way to see this game from Alma.
It's Mark Lemmer, the injured player. Adams on the option off to the right side, pitches it. Crestwood does a super job there. Good gain of, well, it's a decent gain though if you're a Thurston fan, of about 4.
Well, it looked like Adams could have kept that ball and gone upfield. I think he decided to pitch it to last second. Still gained about 4 or 5 yards, which was a nice play.
I like the option play. I think it adds a lot of excitement to the game. Of course, you're risking your quarterback out there. And that's really why you don't see it in the pros as much as you will in high school, college, but this is our first opportunity of the year seeing the option play being run. Quinn hands off, or Adams hands off the ball to, that's Walshin, I believe number 32. And Walshin will get about 3. So it'll be 3rd down and 3. And already you can tell that Crestwood's going to be in for a little bit of a tougher battle.
Oh, yeah.
Thurston winning the battle line of scrimmage here just a tad in the first 2 plays. I mean, not really blowing Crestwood off the line, but moving the ball forward. And that's got to be tough, I think, Mike, for a team coming off a huge win like they did last week. A pretty easy one. Nice looking play, wide open. Dade had number 85, the 6'2" junior.
Yeah, that's what the option will do for you, Keith. Crestwood was stacked up at the line of scrimmage. They're looking, they're looking for that run, and then he just pulls back and hits him down the sideline. Beautiful play. He's wide open. Just a nice play there by Redford Thurston. Keith, it looks like John Adams is pretty good with the ball. If you're an option quarterback, you got to be able to hide that ball a little bit.
Imagine the Thurston coach is going to have a little bit to say about that, because Wallachin was stopped, then the play was blown dead, and he actually broke out of the pile, but they didn't give him anything, and the Thurston coach had a few words to say for the referee. Wallachin isn't going to get anything. 2nd down and 10. Clock on the move, really just underway here at Crestwood High School. Crestwood took the opening kickoff thanks to a Dan Piden kickoff return, which set him up well inside of the Eagle territory, and they marched it on in, missed the extra point at 6-zip. Adams back to throw, good looking fake, fires it over here, and really no one there. Kind of looked like Bernie Kosar throwing a ball like that, a little sidearm swing.
I think he kind of got rid of that ball. It looked like Dan Piden came in from his safety spot there on a blitz. Put a little pressure on him.
There you see, look at Adams' stats, 12 for 20 last week versus Allen Park, and the Jaguars have a very, very good football team. So I didn't even know he was 12 for 20, so we're definitely going to see some throws today.
Yeah, I didn't see that stat either until you mentioned it, and 20 pass attempts is quite a bit
That's
for a high school game.
No doubt about it. 3rd down and 10, and this will probably be a passing situation for Thurston now. Little Statue of Liberty play, and a great play by Dan Piden. Jeff Lance loses 6 yards on that play, and a great defensive play by Piden, and Thurston's going to have to punt the ball away.
Let's see if we can see Piden cutting in. Boy, he came all the way across the field, Keith. He could read that right from the start. His man, he just followed his man around the field and cut through. Beautiful play.
Inside the 10, leave it go.
You can hear the coaches shouting instructions to the players. If it's inside the 10, leave it go.
Pretty decent looking kick.
It's like they're listening.
Bounce inside the 5, and Thurston's going to down it at about the 2-yard line.
Boy, what a great kick, huh?
Great kick by Joe McFarland, I believe, number 55. So 5:26 to go here in the first quarter, and Crestwood's going to start off from their own inside the 5, I believe, their own 3-yard line.
Looks like on the 3.
Somebody stepped on it and they ripped
Ball is down by number 18, Carlos.
Thurston moved the ball pretty well there, too, Keith.
For the Chargers at their own 3-yard line.
Unfortunately, they had a couple of misdirection plays that didn't work, but they did move the ball pretty well. Let's see how Crestwood can come back here in the second series.
1st down and 10. Down here, you want to go to Jimmy Bates, and that's exactly what they do. And look at the pile move. Bates was stopped for a yard loss and somehow pushed it forward close to the 5-yard line. We got a flag on the play.
Keith, I talked to Coach Carter last week at halftime. It looks like the penalty's on Crestwood here, illegal motion. Talked to Coach Carter last week at halftime. They were playing a good game. However, they had quite a few penalties, and he was quite concerned about that. Playing against Thurston this week, a little bit better team. I'm sure he's even more concerned this time.
Yeah, we talked about that up here, about how many penalties they did have, and see if we have the exact number.
That will be declined.
And
you're within inside the 5-yard line. You don't need any more penalties to push you back any further.
yeah, they had definitely had over 10, and that's a horrendous amount.
Got blitz coming.
Piden hands the ball off, second man through, and that's Fisher, and Fisher gets back to about where Bates had it originally, and that's about it. So that'll set up 3rd down and 8, so Redford Thurston did decline that penalty. So Fisher really didn't get anything, so 3rd down and 8. And this is a big play for the Thurston defense. They'll get the ball well into Crestwood territory here if they can hold them down. Floyd Carter's not usually the kind of coach here that's going to put the ball up in his own end zone.
I see Jason Fountain checked into the game, though, but don't be surprised here, Keith.
And he will throw. Biden drops back, fires it over here, and the ball is dropped by Alex Horvath. He was wide open, had more than enough for the first down. So Coach Floyd Carter obviously fooling Thurston a little bit. Of course, he's got Dan Piden back there, too. Last week, he had Mark Lemmerin back there, who was a junior. And maybe with the senior Dan Piden, he feels a little more confident.
Nice play fake here, and Horvath had it right in his hands. I think he was thinking about running before he caught it.
Couldn't throw it really much
We've seen
better
that
than
even on the pro level. It doesn't matter. We've got another timeout. This is, I'm sure Coach Carter wants to make sure they get this punt off and get it out and get some good coverage here.
It's definitely an important transition here.
Boy, a lot of timeouts here, Keith, in just the first quarter.
Yeah, both teams seem a tiny bit confused, although here are extra cautious if they're not confused. It's hard to really tell, really. That's why we need you down on the field. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on.
Yeah, I think neither team wants to give away anything in the beginning here, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to be real cautious and make sure that everything goes well.
I'd like to remind all you John Glenn fans, we'll be doing our first of 3 Rocket football games next week. Our first one Friday at Livonia Churchill. And the Rockets are prohibitive favorites as we're taping on Friday night to win tomorrow at Farmington. And well on their way to another fine season. 4th down and 8 from the 5. Good snap. And a pretty decent kick.
Good kick.
By number 1, that's Jeff Lance, and Lance gets it across the 30 to about the 28. And the reason I hesitated is I thought it was a different kicker, but it wasn't. It was Jason Fountain that punted the ball.
Wasn't a bad kick, Keith. Made a nice return there. Get it inside the 30. If you're Thurston, this is exactly what you wanted to do. All stems on their punter, who put it down inside the 5-yard line.
Adams with Parsons and Lance off to the left side. Adams hands the ball off, and Walsh gets inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Give 5. So it'll be 2nd down and 5 to go. 3:35 to go here in the first quarter. Each team now with 2 possessions. Thurston looking to cash in on their second one after a pretty doggone good punt and a great defensive series. Crestwood punted from their own 4-yard line, and Thurston took over at the 28. Back to throw, wide open. Number 18, he's on, nice move, and he's inside. That could be a touchdown. Down at about the 1-yard line. Carlos Munoz down to about the 1, a gain of about 23 yards.
Boy, is he wide open. Keith, look at this. Well, he had 5 yards on him. Danny Piden came back and had a touchdown saving tackle. Looked like he almost got in, but he's on the 1-yard line.
Not a lot of zip on that football, but there didn't really have to be. 1st down and goal from the 1-yard line. Adams, full house backfield. Adams hands the ball off. I believe that was Joe McFarland. And we're waiting for the signal. The Thurston players think he's in, but and he is. So the Eagles score a touchdown here, an impressive drive, and I'll tell you what, Crestwood could have some trouble if John Adams is able to throw the ball like he has so far, Mike, in just his 3 attempts.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's 40 or 50 yards in the air already. We're still in the first quarter.
So this is a crucial extra point. Carlos Munoz. And we might have to see a Thurston timeout here. They don't have enough guys on the field. So he missed it. So one of the teams could have made an extra point here. They'd be out in front, but both teams missing conversions low and wide. And with 2:22 to go in the first quarter, we're tied at 6.
I'd like to introduce the members of our varsity cheerleaders. Skelly Gumback, Annette Banglaw, Laura Cummings, Celeste McDonald, Jennifer Grayson, Amy Pinkowski, Diane Curl, Kathy Churville, Amy Green, and Jennifer Grande. Thank you, ladies, for your hard efforts and performance. This is halftime. Number 55 kicking off for the year.
Ready to kick off here. Number 55, that's Joe McFarland to boot it away. Biden at his own 10, out to the 30, right into the big pile, and doesn't break through this time, out to the 32-yard line.
You know, Keith, that time it looked like Thurston had a couple suicide guys there. They came right down and broke up that wedge real well. Danny Piden was stopped at the 34, 33-yard line, looks like.
That long pause you heard, you were talking, you had something very insightful to say, but no one got to hear it, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here, but
you're on now.
Some faulty
people,
equipment,
Mike
maybe,
was
huh?
talking, and I was listening to him. You just heard a lot of dead air. My mic was open, and I guess yours wasn't. I'm listening to all these. But you have to remember what you said. So Piden brings him up at the 32. 2:04 and running here in the first quarter. Hands the ball off. That's number 7. That's Lammeren. And Lammeren picks up 6. So last week it was Lammeren the quarterback and Piden the tailback, and this way it's the other way around.
Yeah, that's the same play they did down by the goal line. That worked well. They had the draw play. Lammeren was they had several good runs last week. I thought he was a good-looking back out there. I'm glad to see that Coach Carter is putting him in at tailback if he's not going to be playing quarterback, because the kid's a good ball player. You can see on the graphic there, he scored on 32 and 12-yard runs last week. Some really nice runs last week.
So a gain of 7 for Lammeren, 2nd down 3. Piden hands the ball off to Jimmy Bates. And you need more than one person to get Bates down, and that time Aaron Sprague got some help. And it'll set up 3rd down and a long, long 3. And Crestwood in a different type of a ball game, Mike, and I mentioned earlier, it's got to be a concern for a coach to beat a team as bad as Crestwood did last week in all statistical categories and on the scoreboard, to have over 10 penalties and to come in knowing you're going to play a tough team, as Redford Thurston is, you know, in your 3rd game.
Well, yeah, Keith, you do have to be concerned, and Coach Carter was very concerned when I talked to him last week. However, Crestwood's been doing pretty well here.
Piden on the keeper after fake to Horvath, and incomplete. Almost had number 5 Pilarski down at the 40, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. And it'll be 4th down and 3.5.
Well, that was almost a great catch by Pilarski there. Diving attempt. Looked like my man, the Magic Man, Desmond Howard there. We may see a little bit of him this weekend, eh?
Yeah, I'd like to see him just sit there and smile with just no teeth. Once they leave here, I ain't loyal to them anymore. Found, will punt it away. 24 seconds. Tom Dunny and Jeff
coming at him. Almost got him.
And Dunny won't call for the fair catch. Piden waited for him to field the ball. And a good job by Scott Eggleston on the tackle. And Thurston will take over, 1st down and 10 at their own 32.
Boy, Keith, Tom Dunny taking some chances back there, but obviously his coaches are confident in him, and he has the confidence in his own ability that he's going to catch the ball, and he's making some, you know, halfway decent returns here.
I was kind of surprised that Dan Piden held up. Didn't time it as good as he probably would have wanted to.
Well, he showed good poise and not hitting him when he's that close, getting ready to catch the ball.
Same way they started off the game with the 2 wideouts here to the left side, and again the option. So it's the exact same call. They started off about the 30-yard line. Had the two wideouts, Lance and Parcell, over to this side, and they ran the option, and they did so again.
That really, that play was really slow and forming, Keith, and you know, it still worked effectively. They're gaining about 5 yards every time they pitch it out to the wide back. As we end the end of the first quarter here, but really a slow-moving play. But you know, if Thurston can keep this up, like we said, Crestwood is going to be in a little bit of trouble because it seems like Thurston is winning the battle on the line.
It's not very often that you'll see a team that's willing to throw the ball as much as this team is, based on the stats we saw. And plus running the option as well as running some fakes and things like that. They have a lot of things to be concerned about defensively, that is the Chargers. As Michael said, that is the end of the first quarter, and we're tied here at 6 at Crestwood High School. Glad you could be with us. And once again, we'd like to thank the people at Matt's Catering. And for parties of 50 to 350, they do all kinds of things: weddings, showers, retirements, banquets, meetings, and birthdays. And also, if you need a hall, you can give Matt a call. 278-6400.
Hey, I like that.
Hey, I
if you
did
need
that
a
last
hall,
week.
you give Matt a call.
Not that good. 3rd down and 5. No gain there for Walshin.
I guess it's 3rd down now. I couldn't understand why they were pushing the ball up the middle on a 3rd and 5 play, but I guess it was 2nd and 5. The men on the crew over there had it as 3rd down.
Well, there's another statistic. This one not good for the Eagle offense. 96 yards, and they threw the ball 20 times too. Wide open, another nice catch by Head. Dave Head inside the 50 to about the 48. 14-yard gain. And that tells you how tough Allen Park is, because
Allen Park really held these
Thurston
guys
having
down.
no problem moving the ball. So 1st down and 10 for the Eagles. They're on the Crestwood side of the field at about the 49.
You know, Keith, last week, the Thurston Eagles averaged almost 10.5 yards a pass on their completion. So, you know, that's a pretty good stat. It looks like they're keeping up with that today.
Again, they run the option. This time, Adams keeps the ball, and he'll have another 1st down. Down to about the 38. Pickup of 11.
Jason Kevich with the tackle, but once again, Thurston, I don't know, has Crestwood seen, you know, I haven't seen many of these games. You have. Are there that many teams in the Tri-River Conference, or for that matter, in this area, that are running the
well, I know what you're saying. I think Thurston against an A team would have trouble matching the personnel. But as far as they're definitely equal in size and personnel strength against Crestwood. And I think any time that you're equal in size and you're equal in, you know, players over on the sideline, although they are a little bit short on that, and you can do so many different things. You might throw the ball 15 times. You might run the option a half a dozen times. You know, they've ran a Statue of Liberty play already. That's going to create all kinds of problems for a defense.
I guess the key here is Adams is very deceptive with the ball. A couple misdirection plays, and he's sticking it in the fullback's belly and pulling it back out, you know, throwing the ball down the field. It's going to confuse these guys if they can't see it.
Lance and Parcells out to the far side. They're in the eye. Ooh, and a good play by Dan Pide.
I'll tell you what, Keith, we talk about Piden as a quarterback, but he is playing a whale of a defensive ball game here. When it looks like he's guessing on some plays, and boy, when he guesses, he's making some big plays.
Looks like he was responsible for a little bit of outside containment there if it was a passing play, and he chose to come in and blitz, and nothing doing there. Big loss of about 8. 3rd down and 12 from the Charger 42. Flare pass. I don't know if that was a lateral or not. It doesn't really matter. Crispin on the stop there. As Quinn's going to be at least 10 yards short of the 1st down, and we'll see what happens. I imagine Thurston's going to punt. This is how they got their first touchdown. drove the field to about the Crestwood 40, and a little pooch kick pinned the Chargers before the Eagles got it back and ended up scoring.
You can see on the replay here, good containment there. Crestwood really came across and filled the hole there. We got another timeout.
I don't think Crestwood has any more, so this would be their last one.
Yeah, that's their third timeout, Keith. 8:48 left to go in the second quarter. Yeah, what do you think, Keith? If I'm Crestwood, I might try to get in and maybe put a lot of pressure on the punter. If you give him time, I think he can put it down again.
I think they'll definitely try to do that. Sometimes coaches don't even put any return men back in this situation. Yeah, we take a look at our upcoming schedule. Next week we'll be at John Glenn High School. And then on to Robichaud as River Rouge will take on the Robichaud Bulldogs.
Let's see what Coach Carter had to say to his team here. What's going to happen? He's got 2 men back.
We'll see if McFarland can pin him again.
Good snap, no pressure.
So another very good kick. Doesn't take a bounce, and it ends up taking a bad bounce for the Eagles. It's kind of a shame. McFarland did exactly what he wanted to do, but he wanted it to hit the nose of the football and kind of bounce toward the Crestwood goal line. Didn't do that, and the Chargers are going to get a little bit of a break here, starting outside the 20.
Well, let's see what Crestwood can do here. You know, they got decent field position here. I think the last time they were a little tentative. They didn't want to turn the ball over. They wanted to get a couple of yards. But right now, I think this is another situation where they want to establish a little bit on the offensive line, move the ball down the field.
Hyde missed the handoff, and actually a broken play. Keeps the ball, and he's hit out of bounds at about the 33. And a lot of the fans complaining about a late hit there. Hyde made a great play out of something that was a total screw-up.
I don't know if he went back to pass and decided to run or what. There was an opening there, but like you said, Keith, it looked like a broken play. If you're a good athlete like Dan Pydon, you can make plays like that.
Pydon with 92 yards, as you saw in the graphic, on 10 carries last week. He's calling the signals, hands it off to Jimmy Bates. And this time, one man did bring Jimmy Bates down. And Chris Walshin, also a pretty big kid, 6'2", 210.
They're really containing Bates tonight. Bates had a pretty good game last week. Thurston, the interior line there is pretty big. I think Jimmy Bates is meeting some guys pretty much his size.
I got him unofficially with 6 carries, and he hasn't gained over 3 yards and done that only once. Pydon on the fake handoff to Horvath, rolls this way, and a ball in and out. Nothing much you can do if you're Dan Pydon. Jason Kevich, again, hit him in the bad spot, the chest. Good aggressive hit, though, by the Eagles defense there. Perfectly timed hit. I didn't see who did it.
It's Pete Quinn, the junior defensive back.
I'm not sure Jason Kevich would have caught the ball anyway, but
been close to a first down if he would have caught it.
The Eagle defensive back made sure that he wasn't going to. So 3rd down and 10. Pydon calling out the signals, drops back to throw. The heat's on him, and Pydon dumps it off. What a play over to Jimmy Bates. Pydon saved his team 10 yards and maybe 15.
Great play.
Jimmy Bates, what a play by Dan Pydon. I think he actually looked to make sure it wasn't a lineman.
I think he did too. Watch on this replay. Look at this, Keith. There's a big blitz here. He fights off 2 guys. Bates kept his head up and was looking for the ball and made a great run afterward. Fine play, boy.
A couple of yards short of the first down, but he would have been sacked for 20 yards, so that's about a 28-yard difference right there. Fountain back to kick. Ball's going to bounce short of Tom Dunny. He's going to pick it up around the 31. Not a whole lot of room. And Pilarski was there first, and Dave Crispin made sure that he was going to get back up.
Good coverage there by Crestwood on that punt. Jason Fountain's a little upset there. I don't think he felt he got the best on that punt. You know, the good thing he did do is he kicked away from the receiver, Tom Dunny. He looks like he's dangerous back there. I'd try to kick away from him as much as possible.
So first down and 10 for the Eagles, under 6 minutes to go here in the first half at the 33. Adams again on the option, pitches it out. Good looking running play.
Nice
on his
move
way
on
is
the sideline.
Quinn down the sidelines at 30, and Pilarski finally brings him down at about the 20. And another great decision by by John Adams. And Pete Quinn just did the rest with the football, basically just running down the sidelines.
He made a nice move, Keith, about midfield. Watch this on the replay. Nice option here by Adams. Watch this move right here. In and out, and he just broke that tackle. Bates couldn't catch him. Just a fine run. All the way down to 18 there.
Jason Kevich, after having the ball bounce off of his chest there with a little missed tackle. And almost a 50-yard gain for Quinn on that play. First down and 10 for the Eagles inside the Crestwood 20-yard line. Handoff straight ahead.
Well, I tell you, some of those times, you know, the play looks really slow and developing. And I'm not sure if the fullback's misreading things or what, or if Adams can't decide what to do. But every once in a while, they just looks like they have a play where they don't know what they're doing.
I just think they're trying to, a little quick hitter there, trying to make Crestwood look for the option play, because they've ran that fake and then went into the option. They wanted to see if it would work. Now there's the same fake again. This time Adams keeps the ball, and he'll pick up about 4. See, that's about the same play, Mike, there, the time they pulled it back and went with the fake rather than handing it off and went with the option there.
Hey, look at all those Crestwood guys. That was great pursuit by Crestwood on that individual play there.
Tell you what, based on the field goal kicking teams that we've seen throughout my career here at Continental, I think there's just 4 down territory.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to stick it here before they even think about a kick.
3rd down and 6 from the 15.
Let's watch for this play fake here. Little quick hitter to the right side.
Walsh and Dunny in the backfield.
Yeah, there it is. Looking for it.
Fake, and he's going to be incomplete. He did get rid of the ball, but it got knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Looked like it could have been. Yeah, Pete Spinopoulos knocked that down. Nice play by Spinopoulos. You know, Keith, I don't know if you caught that because I didn't hear you say it, but I did say that he probably looked to the right there. I've noticed that play a couple times. Seems like it's their bread and butter play. If Crestwood can pick up on that,
what is he
maybe
doing?
step in.
What's the quarter?
Well, he's faking into the line and he's stepping back and trying to look for a quick hitter right over the middle or to the right side, gone out.
They got both wideouts out to the right side, so. There you take a look at the last 3 games of our schedule. North Farmington at John Glenn, and that will probably be our premier game of the year. And then Kennedy at Annapolis, and then Wayne Memorial visits the Rockets. And of course, if one of our teams are fortunate enough to make the Michigan High School Athletic Association playoffs, we will be there as far as the High School Athletic Association will let us go.
Several teams in this area that could make it.
So we're going to kick a field goal here.
Here we go. See if we can eat some crow here, huh?
Carlos Munoz from 33 yards. Everything's good except for the kick. And that wasn't really a bad-looking kick. Munoz off to the left side, had the distance. Snap was good, the placement was good, so 2 of the 3 were good. And Crestwood will take over in what has been, I wouldn't really call it a defensive struggle.
No, not
Both
really.
teams moving the ball within the 20s. It's like Wayne Fonz's bend but don't break defense here tonight.
It looks that way. You know, both teams are, like you said, they're moving the ball. They're just not They're not going into that. Yeah, they're not punching it home. I mean, if they could do that, we'd have a little bit higher scoring ball game here.
So we'll see what Crestwood can do here. I imagine Coach Floyd Carter is going to try to run the ball for a couple first downs here before he gets a little gambling. It's still a 6-6 tie. And Pyden hands the ball off. And nothing doing. Let's see if that was Horvath or not. Sometimes he's the second man. It's going to be Fisher.
Boy, Oliver Rue, the 5'10", 280-pound defensive tackle, gets fired up out there, boy. I think he watches a lot of NFL games on Sunday.
Because neither team with a lot of timeouts. I don't think Crestwood has any. Thurston may have one. It's a big down here for Crestwood. If they can get some kind of gain out of it, Thurston may not call a timeout to try to get the ball back. Pyden back to throw, rolls out this side, and he intended to keep it all the way. And he's not going to get anything, maybe a half a yard. Clock continuing to roll under 2:45 here in the first half.
So you keep looking at that play. It looked like he had room to run, and I think he just cut back up into the middle, and the pursuit caught up with him. Hard to say. It looked like a pretty decent play, but it just didn't develop.
Every time I predict a play, I've been wrong, so I probably shouldn't say this, but I'd be surprised if Coach Floyd Carter throws the ball here. You don't really want to stop it.
It's going to Fountain on the bomb. How's that?
Make Thurston call a timeout here. You really don't want to make any mistakes. But Pyden again being the senior, so they will throw it. And incomplete. Threw it over Alex Horvath's head. Tom Dunny was right there. And even if Horvath had caught the ball, it wouldn't have been a first down. So the clock did stop. So with 2:08, Thurston should get the ball in great field position here with a timeout left and a chance to break the tie.
Big kick here by Fountain. They've got to get it out because you don't, with this passing attack of Thurston, you got to get the ball down the field here a little bit.
Lance
big rush,
for the
big
return.
rush.
It is a huge rush. Lance, this ball would be returnable if he can get it, and he just can't do it.
Nice punt.
Yeah, very good kick by Jason Fountain. And Lance, I guess, wisely didn't try to make a heroic play, and the Eagles will take over first down and 10 at the 40.
They're arguing here. They didn't stop the clock there, Keith. Pounding on our window here.
And they still didn't stop it.
So we got an injured player on the field there, Crestwood.
I'm not really sure what you do anymore. They change so many doggone rules every year about whether the clock stops now or not.
Well, I believe what you do on that, on a punting situation, again, I'm not positive on this, but you stop the clock till you set the chain. Once the chain is set, then you go ahead and start
We
it
know
back
you
up.
can find out at halftime. There's a man here that can.
Probably could. We'll have to go look.
For two reasons. Back to throw goes Adams, fires it down here and incomplete.
That's got to be on
That's
Thurston.
going to be offensive pass interference.
Oh, yeah.
Although I really don't think Jason Kevich had any chance to catch that ball. And that's usually what they base the calls on. Well, two referees did throw the flag down. I don't know, Mike, do you think he had a chance to catch it?
Well, you know what? Maybe he didn't have a chance, but I'll tell you what, that was so obvious. You got to throw a flag on that. With 47 seconds left, that's really going to hurt Thurston here.
Well, at least give the guy a flag for taking a beating there for no reason.
Really. Very obvious.
So that's a big 15-yard mark off, and this is where Crestwood not having any timeouts is going to kill him because basically the Eagles can just down the ball on one knee and run out the half if that's what they choose to do. On third down and 23. Lance and Parcell out to the left side. Walston and Quinn. They hand them off to Quinn, a huge hole. And Crispin has made a couple good open field tackles today, makes another one there.
looked like Crestwood was in a prevent defense there. I think that's why it opened up so much, but.
Thurston, let's see if they're gonna have to run another play here. Watching the referee, and his hand goes down with 28, so they are gonna have to get a play off before this clock expires.
You can see Crestwood's in a prevent defense here. A nice block upfield by number 32 for Thurston, but again, they're still 10 yards away with only 14 seconds and counting here.
No, we got about 7. That's what's going to happen here, as Thurston's going to take the delay game penalty or call timeout. And they do call timeout with 3 seconds to go.
Why do you waste a timeout, Keith?
Well, because they didn't want to delay game penalty. That's what I was watching. I was watching the referee down there, and he wound his hand to start the 25-second play clock with 28 to go, which meant that they had to run a play by the 3-second mark. And so they just called a timeout rather than getting the delay. Now they're just going to take the ball, and the clock operator here let the clock run down to 1. He should have stopped it at 3.
But why didn't they just snap the ball and go down?
Because it would have been a change of possession. The clock would have stopped.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So this way, you know, they call timeout rather than losing that 5 yards. Yeah, they don't want to risk a punt. So they probably would have taken the ball and ran around for a couple seconds, and then fell over.
Keeled over?
I didn't really mean it to come out quite that way.
Well, you'll definitely see Crestwood in the prevent defense, and our producer wants us to talk about that. But
we'll have to
watch the Lions on Sunday. Maybe we'll see it.
Well, let's hope they have a chance to play the prevent. I don't know if they will. I don't think they'll have a 2-touchdown lead at RFK. Adams back to throw.
He's got it.
Why not? Wide open. He's got a man to beat. And that's a very smart call by Bob Snell. I like the way this guy coaches.
Go for it.
Parcell with a 32-yard gain at the end of the first half, and the Thurston team is certainly a lot of fun to watch. That's it. We played the end of the first half, and I'm going down to get one of Matt's sandwiches.
All right.
6-6 tie. We'll be back for third quarter action right after this.
Through the sky like thunder and lightning. The awesome power of the Air National Guard.
Okay, we're back here at second half with Redford Thurston and Crestwood. Score is tied at 6-6. Keith, it's really been a game where we can't really say it's a defensive battle. Are you okay there? Are you choking on your food or what?
I'd eat it quick, you know. It's choking down. I was choking it down because I was eating it quick. It was very good. Matt's Catering, thank them again. See, now I can really talk it up because I got a sample of it thanks to Greg, who saved me a sandwich. And boy, they had a nice cheer for Matt too. Thanks, Matt's Catering, for all your catering needs. Make sure you give them a call. Once again, the great sandwiches they provided for the crew and myself. And if you'd have wanted one, Mike, you could have had one.
You know,
give them a call, 278-6400.
I'm going to give Matt a call and see whoever ate the fastest sandwich, because I think I just witnessed it just now.
I think half of it's stuck in my throat.
Taylor Kennedy, game time 7:30.
You know, Keith, I was elaborating there on it not being a defensive battle like we thought it would be. It's pretty much been a wide open offensive game, and unfortunately neither team has been able to really stick it in once they get inside the 20. It looks like Crestwood's going to be kicking off here to start the second half. I'm always interested, Keith, to see at the beginning of the game and also the start of the second half how a team comes out and reacts. Last week we saw Crestwood come out against Annapolis. They really didn't need to come out real big, but you know, they wanted to come out and have a good second half. I talked to a couple of kids on the sidelines, and they said Coach Carter really gave them a good pep talk. It's a much bigger game this week. I'm sure he's really told the kids what this is all about, and he wants them to come out and give their best effort. And I really look to see Crestwood come out sky high here.
No doubt about it, Mike. It's a league game, and they know they're in a battle. Unlike last week, they're going to have to come out here to play in the second half.
We have a problem with the clock. You'll have to maintain the time on the field and keep us surprised as fast as you want. Thank you very much.
We just found out, Keith, I don't know if you heard that through the, see the referee there on the screen. I guess the clock up here is not functioning. We can see it running down right now, but it's not functioning, so the officials are going to have to keep time on the field.
The on-off switch is not turning it off, so it's going to sit here and run and run and run.
Looks like they're going to work on it, so we'll keep everybody in tune.
Biden to kick off. Boy, that's like a Cecil Fielder line drive. And Thurston will bring it up to the 40.
Boy, that kick could have hurt somebody.
Matt even gave us a cookie there, Mike. I probably did give you something.
You know, Keith, I've had enough cookies tonight, let me tell you.
So do the people in the Crestwood press box. They provide us with some cookies and coffee. So also the long pause you hear might be Mike eating a cookie.
Now, behave there, Keith.
Adams hands it off. First man through it, just a pile of people. And Walshin brings it out over the 45 to about the 46. Get about 6 on the play.
We got an injured player on Crestwood. Hard to see who it is. Looks like it might be Steve Napolitano. I'm not sure on that, but he was in the interior line there when they went up, and we see the doctor going out there to take a look at him. Let's hope he's all right.
Once again, for if you just joined us, well, first of all, here in the second half, the clock is unable to work, so I won't be able to tell everybody how much time's left. So we'll have to go down on the field a few times. See, Mike, if you were down on the field, we would have all that.
Well, you know, Keith, it did turn out to be a pretty nice night here, and maybe I can go down at the end of the third quarter.
Here, take a look at Crestwood's upcoming football schedule. And you can see the third game there at Allen Park and Melvindale. And what's that? TC. They play 3 Taylor schools: Truman, Kennedy, and Center. And then St. Clair Shores.
You look at that schedule, they got Allen Park and Melvindale back to back. That's going to be a tough part of their schedule. To the perennial, yes, Keith, perennial in the Tri-River Conference.
They perennially win.
I think you're talking about flowers. Perennials.
No, those are perennials, right?
Yes. Looks like Steve Napolitano, now I can't say his name, maybe you could help me there, is up. Looks like he's going to be all right.
Steve Napolitano. So 6-6 here. Thurston got their score after a great punt. They pinned the Chargers back at their own 5-yard line. They got great field position and marched it in and missed the extra point to tie it at 6. And Jimmy Bates scored Crestwood's touchdown on a 3-yard run on their opening possession after a long kickoff return by Dan Biden, and we're tied at 6.
Looks like, I'll say number 78. I won't try to pronounce his name again. Is up, and it looks like he's all right.
Steve Napolitano.
Napolitano, thank you. A shot of the nice crowd here tonight.
A little bit of a bigger crowd than last week.
Okay, we know the time. Nice hand for Steve Napolitano.
So it's second down.
Back to action.
4 yards to go.
Seems like every week we get
long breaks. Adams hands it off to Walshin, and Walshin won't get anything. It'll make it 3rd down. Horvath in on the stop. I think they said the clock's working again. I'm not sure. They had to tip the unit upside down to make it work.
Now I'm looking down right now, Keith, and they got a screwdriver, and looks like they're taking it apart. See if they can find out what's going on.
Adams on the option play. Good pitch out again. And Adams knows exactly what to do with the ball. And Quinn this time doesn't get 50, but he gets enough for the 1st down.
Just enough.
Adams doing a good job, Mike, on the option play today.
Yeah, he is. You know, we mentioned it before. He's very deceptive with the ball. And I mean, if you don't know where the ball is on defense, it's hard to tackle, you know, somebody if you don't know where the ball is. And that's the key to the option type offense. And he's doing a great job here.
1st down and 10 inside Crestwood territory. Adams hands the ball off to Quinn. And Quinn this time, it seems like Quinn does a little better job when he gets the pitch out wide. And he does going up the middle, but he picks up 2 this time. And it'll be 2nd down and 8.
You know, Keith, the official we're looking at right there on the monitor, the back judge, I believe he's called, keeps the time on the field. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. Maybe we can get some idea of how much time is left.
Nice throw over to Jeff Lance, and that'll be enough, real close to a 1st down, if not enough. Who's that guy in the white hat out there, Mike?
I'm not sure.
Let's take a look at that play.
You see a quick hitter here over the middle. Nice catch by Jeff Lance. He had to go back for it a little bit. So John Adams can really throw the ball real well.
Not that we maintain our viewers from start to finish, but our little joke, we got to let him in on it now. That the gentleman in the white hat, the referee, happens to be Mike Bruce's father, the head referee for today's game.
I didn't know that.
That's why Michael's been praising the refs all this time. That's why they sent him up. Actually, we would have been down in the field, but they sent him upstairs to do the game with me to keep me honest. 2nd down and 8. Crispin on the stop again. He's played a whale of a game defensively so far today.
You know, Keith, we haven't mentioned it, but Thurston is coming down the field right now, moving the ball really well.
Back to throw. Adams throws it over to the side. Lance wide open. Lance inside the 20, down to the 15.
Keith, I don't know if they can show a replay of this or not, but I don't know where Crestwood defensive backs are. They're flooding the zone over here on the right side. Watch this replay. Boy, he's just wide open. There's nobody around him. Nice upfield block there. Keith, I don't know if they're just flooding the zone and they're in his zone and the defensive back is taking one man and he's being left open or what, but it's a great play by Thurston.
I think the fakes are definitely fooling on the option again this time. This time the Chargers are not fooled. Adams has to eat the ball. And another good job by Adams, another good decision. Tom Dunny was the pitch man that time. And even if Adams would have pitched the ball, it wouldn't have worked out much better.
Well, Eagleston and Cripson really read that really well that time and really stopped that, snuffed it out. Now let's see if what we've been talking about holds true. They're inside the 20 and they haven't been able to stick it in, neither team, and here they are again. 2nd and 9.
Inside the 15 at about the 14. There's a little play that they run off tackle. Sometimes they fake and run the option. This time they did hand the ball off, and that's Walshin down to about the 11.
You know, Keith, the interesting point here, they're on the right hash mark, and they're running the ball to the short side of the field. Seems like you know, some of their backs have pretty deceptive speed. I would go to the outside. That's the play that's been working for them, and it seems like they get a little tentative when they get inside the 20.
So we're going to have a timeout here called by the Eagles.
Timeout.
I really have no idea how much time's left here in the third quarter. But we are tied at 6. The scoreboard showing a 7-6 game, but it is definitely 6-6.
I don't know if our cameraman can find out down there on the field or not, Keith. Looks like they're down there discussing it. You can see the referees there.
So 3:50 to go here. I don't know. I'm saying 3:50 because I'm looking at the scoreboard, but obviously that's not right. Yeah, there's a lot more than 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go.
I think they let that run down quite a bit. I think they're trying to find out now if how much time is on the clock, because they're trying to fix this. We understand there's 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
The word we have up here is there is 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
I got a little stopwatch here on my watch, so I should be able to semi-figure it out here.
Hold on, folks. We're going to have the official scorekeeper up here, Keith Burnick.
Handoff off to Quinn.
I see, Keith, I don't understand
Quinn
that.
stopped dead in his tracks.
They call a timeout. It's 3rd down and 5. They're on the 10-yard line. They give the ball right up the middle. They've been successful on the option. They just don't do it this time. I think they really get tentative inside the 20.
So it'll be 4th down and 5 here. A big play for the Crestwood defense. Adams with Walshin, and Quinn goes back to throw, fires it up over here to Lance, and in and out of his hands. And that would have been a very good catch by number 1, Jeff Lance.
See, good coverage here. Look at this, almost a great pass, great catch, but I'll tell you what, Keith, Marty Pilarski was right there for Crestwood. He was on that play. I think if he wouldn't have been there, I think Jeff Lance would have made that catch. I think he was blinded there for just a brief second. Crestwood's going to take the ball over here at the 10-yard line. You know, Keith, it seems like Crestwood's always had bad field position. Only once or twice they've had good field position when they get the ball. Not necessarily their fault. They're just stopping the team down close to the goal line.
Hyden hands the ball off to Jimmy Bates. We got a flag on the play, and Bates will go out to the 12. And my time experiment isn't going to work because I've already forgotten to turn it off and on twice. So much for that.
Oh, we had some movement, it looks like, for Crestwood. See, Keith, here's a penalty that's really going to hurt. You're on the 10-yard line. You don't need to get another penalty. Push yourself back.
Lemerin checks into the game. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. BC coach Floyd Carter.
Discussing some strategy there with
Jason Kevich.
Mark Jason Kevich. Got Lemerin back there at tailback, Keith.
Big play coming up here, too. They don't want to set up a 3rd and long. Hyden hands the ball off, and boy, oh boy, down at about the 2.5-yard line. Nowhere to go. Mark Lemerin, just no chance on that play.
I don't know. That play looked kind of different. I don't know what they were planning on doing there, but the initial thrust by Thurston just didn't allow Crestwood to do anything on that.
3rd down and 15 now. Thurston fans on their feet here. Look at them over there. A little excited. It's about as loud as a crowd that I've heard all year, and it's coming from way across the other side of the field. 3rd down and 15. Hyden hands the ball off. Horvath
in the end zone.
did a good job to get away from one tackler. And well short of the 1st down, and Thurston's going to hold, and they'll get great field position here.
It'll be 4th and 12 for the Chargers.
Dangerous play there. Alex Horvath made a great move to save a safety. Otherwise, we'd be looking at an 8-6 score. Now, Keith, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of punt Jason Fountain gets off here. These guys are only going to be back at the 40. Thurston's got 2 men back, and they're only at the 40-yard line, so he's definitely going to get good field position here.
It's number 1, Jeff Lance, and Tom.
Oh, he missed the ball.
And it's just
safety.
I was looking back at the receivers to see where the punt was. Glad you saw that, Michael.
Well, I'll tell you what, Keith, it looked like they had tremendous pressure up the middle. And I think maybe Jason Fountain took his eye. Boy, listen to those fans. I think he took his eye off the ball for a split second. I don't know if we can get a replay of that, but I think this may be a blessing in disguise for Crestwood because it looked like they might have blocked that punt, and you never know, they could have got a touchdown.
Right.
We're gonna look at this replay again. Watch the pressure up the middle. Catch the ball. I guess it wasn't that much pressure. Looked like it after the fact.
But sometimes it is even a blessing in disguise, Mike, because had he got off a bad punt, they might have had the ball at the 20, and if they go and cash it in, that's 6-7 points. This way they might give up only 2, and Thurston won't get as good a field position.
That's
so
true.
Sometimes it just depends on how the game goes. Sometimes it can work out in your favor. That happened Monday night, the first Monday night game of the season on NFL. The Cowboys and the Redskins snapped the ball out of the end zone for a safety. And I felt bad for the Cowboys because I thought they were going to get good field position, but they ended up scoring a touchdown even after they had the safety. So
quite a nice squib kick there.
Thurston's still going to end up with decent field position. Inside Crestwood territory. What I mean by decent is had they punted the ball, they'd have had it inside the 30 probably. But they'll take the 2 points. They lead at 8-6. I believe we're under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Big defensive stand here for Crestwood. Thurston pushing right down the field in that first series. They need a stop here. They got to stop. They can't let them get down and then get this bad field position again. And a fumble.
And Crestwood said they might have got it, and I believe they do.
Like they did. All right.
And the Crestwood team trying to get their crowd up, and they're not into it as much.
Looks like somebody got a hand in here. Let's look and see on the replay. Oh, I don't think it was heads-up play by Crestwood to pick up the ball, but it looked like John Adams and I think it was Tom Dunny collided in the backfield and lost that ball.
Yeah, Walsh just lost the ball.
You know, Keith, we've noticed that a couple times on that quick hitter. They seem to be running into each other a little bit. It looks funny every time. Good break here for Crestwood.
First down and 10. Pyden fakes a handoff back to throw. Walsh almost got him, and I think that bounced anyway, and Jason Fountain couldn't hang on. And the clock is pretty close to being accurate. It's probably about 10 seconds off right now. So it'll be second down and 10.
So on this replay, Pyden got a little bit of pressure here.
Watch Walsh in there. Just as he released the ball, Pyden got hit.
Well, Pyden identified the right receiver there. You can see that Fountain was wide open. He just didn't get it quite to him.
Second down and 10 to go. Pilarski out to this side. Horvath. They're in the eye, out to the right side. Pyden fakes a handoff again, goes back to throw, steps up this time. Take off running, he'll get a yard, and that's about it. And it'll set up third down and 8.
Well, they're really pressuring him. He goes back to pass. They're putting tremendous pressure on Danny Pyden. He can't have too much time there to throw the ball.
It's Floyd Carter trying a little bit of different things here. Coming out throwing the ball here. Under 4:20 to go now here in the third quarter. 8-6, the Eagles lead it. On a botched snap, or the ball went right through Jason Fountain's hand on the punt. A little bit of a high snap, but it should have been easily pulled in. Fountain out to the right side, Pilarski close to us. That's Horvath on the wingback spot. Third down and 8. Pyden fakes the handoff. Back to throw.
Again, got the
way
ball.
up aloft. And that was just basically up for grabs. Fountain well covered. by Dunny, and it'll go incomplete. We got a flag on the play, though. We'll have to wait and see what that's all about.
Got a holding on Crestwood on the interior line there.
I'm sure they're going to decline that. So Crestwood's going to have to punt the ball anyway.
The Crestwood interior line is really being tested here. Thurston is really coming at him hard. Looks like they're blitzing quite a bit. And this time, unfortunately, somebody got caught with a hold. Looks like the Thurston Eagles are going to decline the penalty. Make it 4th down here. Let's see if I can get a punt off. I believe we hear there's, what, 3 minutes?
3:15, they said.
3:15? 3:15 left, I guess.
So Fountain will see if he can get it off this time.
Line drive to Lance.
Lance, Dan Piden all over him. And I'm sure Jeff Lance got a little bit of an unsportsmanlike call there, Mike.
Looks like you see Dan Piden going to come down the field here. He's been all over the field today. He makes a great open field tackle. And yeah, you could see Jeff Lance was a little upset there and just threw the ball off the back of his head.
If you're going to get a 15-yarder called against you, got to make it a little bit better than that. What
Yeah,
you say?
I think so.
No, referee made the right call. I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm just saying if you're gonna get a 15-yarder, throw the ball a little harder than that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he was just a little upset. He probably saw that line drive coming, thought he was going to have some room to run.
Yeah, Crispin and Piden have played exceptional defensive games here today for Crestwood. So we're somewhere below 3 1/4 here left in the third. And Lance now will be out to the far side. Adams on the option play keeps it this time, and he gets out to the 19.
Nice play there by Stenopoulos. Fought off the blocker on the inside and made the tackle there on Adams.
So it'll be 2nd down and 8. Oh, I'm sorry, it'll be 2nd and 23. That's right. After possession, the dead ball foul, it doesn't become 1st and 10 anymore. It became 1st and 25. It's a rule in high school that's a little bit different than the pro rule there. Hand the ball off. That's number 23, Quinn. And Quinn gets up to the 30. That'll set up about a 3rd down and 12.
Well, that hole really opened up. I don't know if Crestwood went to prevent defense there or 2nd down and about 20 yards. He really opened it up there in the middle.
3rd down and 13. The Eagles at their own 30-yard line.
So 3rd down and 12, a big play here. Adams throws it out to the right side. That's Quinn. Rather, that's not Quinn, I'm sorry. That's Tom Dunny. No, it was Quinn. Make up my mind. Quinn, when he's gotten to the outside, Mike has done
pass here to Pete Quinn.
I was going to say, when he's been on the outside, he's done a good job so far today, but Crestwood did a good job containing him that time.
Dave Cripson really came across the field and really snuffed that play out. It's a fine play by him. It's 4th down here. Crestwood, I guess they got 2 guys back. They're slowly moving back, though.
So
I don't know if they're back far enough, Keith.
McFarland's had a good day punting so far. Doesn't
like
really
Bates
get
got
that
a
one
piece
away.
Of that.
Not a very good punt by McFarland, and Crestwood will take over. 1st down and 10 at the 45. You thought Bates had a piece of it. I don't know. We'll have to see if we can take a look at it.
It looked like he just got a piece of it. They're showing him now, but afterward he kind of like put his head down like he wished he really would have got it. 19-yard punt. I'm sure he got a little piece of it.
Either way, the Chargers have great field position here. They're down 8-6. somewhere in the 2-minute range to go here in the third quarter. I formation. Jimmy Bates hiding second man through. That's Fisher. And Fisher's going to get about 9, a little bit shy of the first down. So it'll be second down and a yard to go.
Keith, that's the first hole that we've seen opened up pretty much in the second half for Crestwood. There's a nice play there. Fisher had a nice run, but you know, with a minute left, I guess we understand under a minute now in the third quarter, they've got to get something going here, down 8-6.
Second down and 1. We'll see if Coach Carter plays it close to the vest here or gambles a little bit. Hyde hands the ball off to Fisher. Good little hole. And that's enough for a first down. The clock will stop with the chain movements. This could be the last play of the third quarter, though.
It looks like they picked up some, Crestwood has, and they seem to be using the same type play. Little trap play there to the right-hand side. The last 2 times have gained, you know, about 12 yards. That's it. That's the end of the third quarter there, Keith.
And that is the end of the third quarter. So the Redford Thurston Eagles are up by 2 on a safety that went through Jason Fountain's hands, and they lead at 8-6.
We got Matt's Catering again. Are you done eating your dinner there?
I think a lot of people noticed. I'd like to thank Matt for the fine sandwiches. Did a great job today. The turkey was excellent. I really enjoyed it. And if you'd like to try some of their sandwiches or anything that has to do with the line of catering, give Matt a call, 278-6400.
How was the potato salad, the cookies, the mashed potatoes? What else did you eat there?
The potato salad was awesome, and the sandwich was awesome, and
coleslaw.
You've been eating a cookie in between here.
Every now and then.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Chargers at the 42-yard line. Horvath, the wing back, Fisher out on the other side.
Now we saw the end of the third quarter there, and Crestwood all raises their hand, number 4. Not sure what that signifies. Obviously it means the fourth quarter, but
Hyde tiptoes his way down and throws it over to Pilarski down at the 12. But we got flags all over the field, and generally that means this thing's going to come back. And it's either going to be a motion call or a hold against Crestwood. And we're going to have to wait and see here. There's Mr. Burris in the white hat.
Hard to say, I saw about 2 or 3 flags go up there almost immediately. They're discussing it now with the Thurston captains. So you hear Pyden talking, they called motion.
So they call motion on Horvath, and he said that's part of the play.
I couldn't quite see it. I don't know if we picked it up in time. But I tell you what, he has a great play. There's 2 guys wide open out there. Take your pick.
Can't really tell.
Couldn't really pick that up on the replay.
No, it's definitely inconclusive, that's for sure. So it'll be first down and 15. There's a look at it again.
Okay, Horvath, I guess, in motion there.
I really didn't see him move forward, though. Maybe they're saying he was set, and then he backed off. It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard to tell.
I think he was down, set in a 3-point position, got back up. I'm not sure. They dumped to Bates. Let's see if we can see this replay again. He's set, and he gets back up. Keith?
I don't know.
I don't know. Is that legal?
I don't know if it is
or not?
or not. I wish I did. Obviously, the Crestwood coaching staff didn't think so, neither did Dan Pyden, but I'm not real sure, so I'm not going to comment on it.
Well, you can get on him, Keith. Don't feel bad.
2nd down and 12. Pyden fakes a handoff to Fisher. He's in all kinds of trouble now. Steps up. That could be a fumble, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass, and I'll tell you what. I thought he was stepping up in the pocket, and I might have ruled it a fumble, but he got popped rather hard. Let's take another look at it here. 3rd down and 12. Crestwood will keep the ball.
Boy, I don't know. Who hit him, Keith?
He was hit hard, no doubt about that. I don't know.
Hard to tell on that.
I kind of think it was a fumble. It looks like he threw nothing forward. The ball was out of his hand, then it went forward.
As it went.
Really close. It's a real close call. 3rd down and 12.
We got timeout here by Crestwood. Boy, Keith, how many timeouts do they get in high school now?
I don't think they save them for the 4th quarter, that's for sure. I mean, they don't save them to stop the clock.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I didn't think they had this many timeouts.
I'm not sure if the clock's right here or not. Maybe we can get Greg to find out how much time's left, because I've noticed it hasn't been turned off.
Maybe we can find out up here in the booth.
We got a timeout now.
If the clock is working or not. I understand from the announcer up here that it's not working yet. So maybe we can find out again.
We're under 11 minutes to go, that's for sure, and we know Thurston leads this one 8-6. And we'll see what Crestwood does here.
I tell you, Keith, it looks like the Thurston line is just really exploding off the ball, and they're really dominating the interior line.
They're putting a lot of pressure on Dan Pyden when he throws the ball here, especially here in the 2nd half.
Look for the same play we saw the motion on. We're going to go downfield here on a pass.
3rd down and 12. Pyden fakes the handoff, goes back. All kinds of trouble, but that's not a screen. The ball's going to be picked off by Vaughn Orlowski, and he's going to go all the way. Vaughn Orlowski, and there are no flags. And the screen was really set to perfection, except for Vaughn Orlowski. Threw that screen pass right in the trash. Because they had the rush. That's why the rush was coming, Mike. That's your job as an offensive lineman, to really let them go in.
Release and let them come in, and Pyden threw it up there, and the one man that was supposed to stay at home, Vaughn Orlowski. Let's see if we can see it on the replay here. Look at all these guys rushing in. He kind of hanged it up there.
And I'll tell you what, had Orlowski not made the play,
could have went the opposite way.
Could have went the opposite way, is right.
If you're the receiver, though, you've got to come back and meet the ball. But really, I got to say that's just a great play by Vaughn Orlowski.
Carlos Munoz hit the upright, and that keeps the door open for Crestwood, because it's 14-6, and now with the 2-point conversion, Crestwood could tie.
Big break there for Crestwood. Once again, the kicking games tonight have not been too impressive, Keith.
No, it just seems to be a struggle, no matter where we've been, to see somebody kick some extra points. The game would have virtually been out of reach if they'd have made the extra point. Now Crestwood just needs a touchdown, and that'll send this thing into overtime. Of course, we still got a lot of time left, over 10 minutes to go, I believe. I really have no idea how much time's left.
Let's see if Thurston kicks off to Pyden here. Pyden's had a couple nice runbacks on kickoffs. I'd be surprised if they don't try to kick away from him.
So McFarland to kick. And it does go to Pyden at the 15. Pyden out to the 25, the 30, and just barely tripped up. We're going to have some kind of an illegal block or a clip. So it's going to go back. And our camera person Greg Dvorsky down the field informs us that just under 11 minutes to go here in the game.
Another penalty here. Clipping against Crestwood.
So 11 minutes to go here.
Keith, some of these penalties have been very, very costly to Crestwood's chances here. Seem to get a good run or a nice play, and they're being called back. It happened last week, and last week, fortunately for them, they were playing against a weaker team. This week it's happening again, but Thurston's just a little bit stronger than Annapolis was.
Chargers need a score, and then they need a 2-point conversion to tie. Pilarski and Fountain are the wideouts. Jimmy Bates directly behind Pite, and he gets the ball. That's the first time he's seen the ball here in the second half. And he gets about 6.
See another flag here. Got a personal foul, this time on Thurston.
So this is what happened the last time in the fourth quarter. A lot of penalties started to fly, and we're seeing the same thing here so far. To do things like that, that's kind of a silly thing to get a personal foul. We'll see if we can see it.
See if we can see it on the replay here.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I didn't really see anything there.
I don't know what that was. I have no idea.
I didn't really see a whole lot there if that was the call, unless he said something to him verbally, which is possible. Hand off Bates, left tackle, cuts it back, and gets out about the 50, fumbled the ball. We'll have to wait and see if he's ruled down, and I believe he was.
Yeah, they're saying he was down. You know, Keith, it seems that Crestwood goes back to the same play. If it works once, they're going to go back again, and it's been working successful for them. They ran the same play again, it looked like.
People here are more interested in the big skirmish we got going out over there than the game. Fisher off to the right side. Good little run. Picks up about 10. Down to the 41, and that'll be enough for the first down.
Nice misdirection play there, and Aaron Fisher with a big pickup, Keith. How is that coleslaw, by the way? Well, Crestwood is really coming back here when they really need to, you know. I understand we got an injured player on the field. It's number 54 for Crestwood, Scott Eccleston. So Keith, I was saying that Crestwood is coming down the field here really well. You know, this is the time right now. I mean, you're in the fourth quarter. You got to make your move. You got to get on the scoreboard here, try to tie the ball game up, and then hope for the best.
You don't want to leave it to a final drive. They have a first down and 10 inside the Eagle 40 at about the 39.
You know, one thing we're seeing is immediately the Thurston players are down on. We're down on one knee with their helmets off. Either they're trying to conserve energy or they're just a little more tired. Hard to say, but I understand we still have 9 minutes left. Number 54, Eggleston, gets up and is walking off the field under his own power. So it looks like he's going to be okay.
Biden brings him up, first down and 10 at the 39. 9 minutes to go in this one, and we're going to have movement on the Crestwood offensive line, I believe.
That's on Thurston. Looks like encroachment.
Both teams were pointing each way, and one of the officials from the side came in and said, I saw it clearly. Encroachment on Redford, and we're going to have another timeout. Here, this time charged at the Thurston Eagles.
You know, Keith, I like this rule where the kids can come off to the side, the coach can talk to them, and you know, these are high school kids, and this is a learning experience for them. And I think in the heat of the battle, it's always good to have the whole team over there, and the coach can, you know, discuss some of the decisions they're going to make here in the latter part of the fourth quarter.
I'd like to welcome Jude Schauder, principal at Thurston L tonight's game.
So Coach Bob Snell had his say with his defense. Probably just wants him to relax again. This is the best Crestwood's moved the ball really since the first quarter, and wants to talk to him, try to change a little bit of the momentum here.
Let's see if Coach Carter continues his. Looks like he's got a theory here. He's using one or two plays that seem to work, and he's going back to him. And that's just good coaching. I mean, if you go back to the same play and it works, why not go back to it until they stop it?
Right, fakes the handoff. Lemmer takes it around the left side, and we got another flag on the play. And Lemmer is a little bit short of the first down. A hook.
Holding number. I believe it was Dave Cripson. Looks like he wrapped his arm around one of the interior linemen there.
Crispin's played a real good game defensively.
He's played a great game defensively. Made some fine individual plays there.
So we'll go from a 1st and 5 to probably
see if we can see him over here on the. You can see him holding right there. Just as he went by, you see it kind of almost tackled him like. He's trying to seal off that block, and unfortunately he got caught.
So that'll set up a 2nd down and about 15, maybe 16 yards. So that's a big, big penalty. Hyden fakes the handoff. It's going to be big trouble, and he's going to go down. Big sack by the punter, also linebacker Joe McFarland. And McFarland with a big play. Hyden just didn't really feel the pressure off to the far side of the field. He rolled into the pressure, basically.
Watch McFarland. He shows good speed for a big fella here, and comes from behind and hauls down Hyden.
Hyden really never even felt the pressure until it was far too late.
You know, Keith, you got to give the defensive backs a little bit of credit there, because Hyden did have a little bit of time to get rid of that ball, but obviously everybody was covered.
Second, that's still nice. It's 3rd down, isn't it? They got 2nd on the thing, so we'll take it at that. 2nd down and 25. That's right, there was a holding call. Hyden flushed out of the pocket. Now he's going to take off. He gets up to the line of scrimmage and +4. So it'll be 3rd down and about 21.
One quarterback tackling the other, eh?
A good job by the Thurston defense that time. John Adams with the stop.
Showed good ability there to get out of that, pick up a couple yards. Looks like Oliver Rue's a little tired there on the interior line of Thurston. They've been chasing Hyden all over the place tonight. Keith, I gotta believe that Crestwood's gonna break something here. I mean, with all this pressure and everything, something's gotta break.
3rd and 20, they need a big play here. Hyden goes back to throw, has all kinds of time. This time throws it, got a man, Horvath.
Oh.
And a beautifully timed defensive play by Pete Quinn.
Boy, it looked like it almost hit him in the helmet.
Horvath wanted a call, but Quinn, to me, from up here with a perfectly timed defensive play. And Crestwood's going to have to punt the ball away.
Let's see on the replay here. Hyden really throws this ball quite a ways, hangs it up there. Looked like it just hit him right in the face.
Hit him right in the shoulder pad, shoulder, and face. And Quinn with a beautiful hit.
Well timed.
So it'll be 4th down and 20, and Fountain will have to punt it out of there. I have no idea how much time's left. It's strange not knowing that.
Nice punt, gets a good roll here.
And then you got to let it go, and it's going to be down by by Scott Eggleston, who was hurt earlier. It's good to see him back. And the Eagles will take over now. First down and 10 at their own 17. They have an 8-point lead. I imagine Thurston's going to be very content now with running the ball. Crestwood, even if they scored, would still have to be successful on a conversion. And I think the last successful conversion I saw was 2 years ago at John Glenn. I'm just kidding.
You're talking about a 2-point conversion.
Any kind. I was just kidding. But obviously Crestwood would be more fit to go for the 2. They have struggled with their kicking game. But anytime you have Jimmy Bates and Dan Pyden in the backfield, you can get 2 at any time. So gain of a yard, but more importantly, Thurston concerned with running down this clock here in the 4th quarter. An 8-point Eagle lead, 14-6.
Let's see if Crestwood can stop him here and maybe get a good run back for a punt return of some sort.
Adams, little quarterback draw, and he'll get about 3 or 4 yards. Set up a 3rd down here, and Crestwood definitely has to hold Redford here.
You know, Keith, it would be helpful if we knew how much time was left. Unfortunately, the clock isn't working. I would assume, though, that this is...
my guess is
they got to stop him right now.
Yeah, my guess is that there's under 6 minutes to go.
They've got to stop him now if they want to have a chance to get down the field.
Adams on the rollout. Better watch out. Jimmy Bates right there.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, and Crispin almost
threw that away for an interception.
Crispin almost had the pickoff, and Adams with the, you wanted your quarterback to throw it away, but you also don't want him to turn it over. Adams very, very lucky there. Nothing could have went well on that play for the Eagles.
This is Michigan, Notre Dame, Elvis Gerbich back to pass.
It reminded me of that.
Right in his hands.
No one there.
Oh my God.
It's about Crispin was in about the same position. How about that, Michael? 5:45 to go.
5:45. We got the report.
Set under 6 minutes, so I'm gonna try to keep tabs on it now the rest of the game. Let's see if I can do it.
Big play here. It looks like Crestwood's going to go after it.
Ooh.
They do, but
Nice.
What a punt.
Holy
Wow.
God. It didn't really get a good bounce. Could have been a lot better than what it was, but still a terrific kick.
Terrific punt.
By Joe McFarland, 47 yards. He'd have got any kind of roll. That thing would have been about 65.
He had a lot of pressure, too. That's a fabulous punt. Watch the pressure off the side here to the right. Boy, did he get that up. That was 15 yards past Pyden there.
Number 27, Parcell, out of the ball for the Eagles. First and 10, Chargers.
Take a look, Coach Floyd Carter, not too happy right now, and a bit concerned. Larski, incomplete. Boy, it shows, Mike, too, a team that's not used to passing the ball. Pyden's thrown the ball real well a couple times here today, and just his receivers are not helping him out at all.
You know, Keith, I can't really tell from up here if they're not seeing the ball till the last second or what. Sometimes it looks like they're, Pyden's making the pass before they make the cut, which he's supposed to do. The guys just turn and the ball's right there, and they're just not prepared for it, I guess. But he's throwing the ball well. They just don't seem to be ready to catch it.
Very unofficially, 5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Pyden hands the ball off. I believe that's Fisher, and it is. And he'll only get a couple. 3rd down and a long, long 13. And boy, you could tell the way this game was developing. We haven't really said this, Mike, but if you got an 8-point lead here, it's going to be like gold.
Yeah, it seems to be.
The game's changed to a defensive game here in the second half. Both teams very effective moving the ball in the first half, not so in the second. Under 4.5 minutes to go, 3rd down and 13. This could very well be the ball game. This could be Crestwood's biggest play. Pyden steps back, throws it right into the turf. It's incomplete.
It wasn't anywhere near a first down anyway, Keith.
So it'll be 4th down and 13, and Crestwood's going to have to punt it out of there. They don't have much of a choice.
No doubt this game has been a battle of the line, and Thurston is dominating on the line. Pine is receiving all kinds of pressure.
So Fountain will go back to punt it away. And Lance and Dunny back to return it. Here comes the boot. It's a very high kick, pretty decent kick by Fountain. And Lance called for the fair catch, wisely lets it bounce. And Thurston with great field position again at their own 45-yard line. Rather the 49. I was looking at this 50-yard marker over here that was down. It's 5 yards off.
You know, Keith, normally I'd say at this point of the game, if I was coach for Thurston, I'd just be running the ball and trying to utilize some of this time. But I got a feeling this guy, Coach Snell, loves to put that ball up in the air, and I wouldn't be surprised if they even still throw the ball right now.
4 minutes left. That is the official word. The clock on the roll now, so they can at least take a minute and a half off the clock without even getting a first down. And they're gonna definitely gonna do that, Mike. They're gonna run the ball. I'd be very, very surprised to see him put it in the air even on a 3rd down play. There's really no sense in stopping the clock. As long as you can have confidence in your punting game, you pin them back, and Redford's defense has been pretty solid here in the second half.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they should pass in any sense of the word, but
I just have
this feeling that they just love to throw the ball.
Dunny took it off to the right side, and he hasn't really carried the ball that much. Maybe he's one of the less flashier but sure-handed backs on the Thurston squad. And we're under 3 minutes to go here, unofficially here in the 4th quarter. As we told you, if you just joined us, Redford Thurston up 14-6. They went up 8-6 on a snap punt that went out of the end zone, and then scored on an interception return of about 65 yards. The extra point hit the upright, and that gave them the 14-6 lead. We were tied 6-6 at the half, and the clock has malfunctioned most of the second half. Quinn stayed in bounds, and a nice job of running by Pete Quinn. And Crestwood wanted to make sure that he didn't get the first down. We got a flag on the play now.
A flag. I was watching this, Keith. Looked like after the play there was a little bit of roughing, and the two guys separated, and obviously the guy from Thurston said something back, and they threw the flag.
It would be a big blow if it was against Crestwood. We'd like to remind you, thanks Matt's Catering for the sandwiches they provided the crew and myself today. And a reminder, if you have any catering needs whatsoever for weddings, showers, retirements, or banquets, if you need a hall or just the food, give Matt a call, 278-6400.
Big penalty for Thurston. You could see the Thurston player hitting the other Thurston player. He was very upset. Obviously, he said something back to the Crestwood player and got called for the personal foul. Another good punt, Keith.
Real good kick. This time it takes a Thurston bounce. And inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. And I have a very unofficial 2 minutes to go.
You know, Keith, I don't understand. I was going to bring this up, and our producer is telling us that I don't understand why Crestwood is not back trying to field those punts.
Well, they did have a guy back there, and they just out-kicked him. He didn't think he was going to kick it that far.
Well, based off the last punt, I think I'd back up a little bit. Try to return something there. I mean, you got to make things happen at this point in the game. You can't just wait for to score a touchdown from your own 10-yard line. It's not going to happen.
So this is it here. 2 minutes, under 2:15 to go. Piden drops back to throw from his own end zone. Fires it over here, Alex Horvath. And it is caught this time outside to the 18. So a good throw by Dan Pyden, and that'll be a first down.
You know, Keith, I don't know if you can see that, but that was a straight drop back, and he went right back and threw the ball. No ball fakes or anything like that. No sense in having ball fakes at this time. Everybody in the place knows they're going to throw the ball, so go back and throw it. Pyden looked really good on that, and Alex Horvath ran a nice hook route there over on the right-hand side.
So under 2 minutes to go now. Pyden hands the ball off. Lemmer nowhere to go. And he loses 5 yards. And Crestwood players not in a big hurry to get back behind the line of scrimmage.
Part of that could be because the clock is not running. They may not know.
Yeah. I'm sure they have a good. They know they have a good read. I can't believe they're getting back in the huddle here. There's definitely less than a minute and a half to go. Fountain out to the far side. Horvath over to this side. Pyden hands the ball off to Fisher. Fisher's got a tiny bit of room off to the left side, and that's about it. And he gets about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 8. And the officials are going to take a timeout. So that's a break for Crestwood as there's a Thurston player down on the field.
Yeah, it looked like Crestwood was calling their own timeout, and maybe they're going to waive that because Thurston player is down.
So,
Keith, looks like about 3rd and 7 or 8 there. What do you think?
Well, they got
drop play?
Well, no way you'd run the ball, but I've seen stranger things. It'll be 3rd down and 7. You're really in 2-down territory though right now anyway. So, I'll tell you one thing, you know. They have not had a great receiver that has pulled down the ball here today. Jason Fountain did so against Annapolis, but no Crestwood receiver has shown that they've been able to be a sure-handed receiver here today.
You know, some of that is you got to give Thurston some credit also because they are playing a good zone defense. They've been in the, you know, they've been up in the receiver's face quite a bit here in the second half, especially.
And
okay, now we got a timeout there on Crestwood's part.
Now, why would Crestwood take a timeout there?
Well, you know, Keith, I think with the player down like that, Coach Carter can't come out and talk to his players. But, you know, they've only got, what, we're under 2 minutes here, so I'm sure he wants to talk to him. This is a big play here with 3rd down and 8. I can't.
So we got about a minute and a half to go, and while the Redford Thurston players down, we're going to take a break here. Crestwood on their last leg, they trail by 8. We're back here at Crestwood High School. Chargers trail it by 8, 3rd down and 8. They got a long way to go to tie this one up here.
Big
You
play,
got less
Keith.
than a minute and a half to go. Yeah, this is, well, they got 2 downs here. Pyden fires it over to Jimmy Bates. Bates breaks a tackle, gets out across the 30-yard line, and that's enough for the first down. And the clock will stop as they move the chains.
Nice individual play there by Bates to break that tackle and make his first down.
Of course, we have no idea, Mike, how much time's left. It's got to be about a minute.
There's not too much time.
Pyden fakes the handoff. Fisher back to throw, throws it, tipped and incomplete.
Things seem to be opening up here a little bit, though, Keith.
Well, they're playing the deep zone. They don't want to. There goes the old prevent.
They don't want to give up the long bomb.
They don't want to give up. And in the NFL, I think it hurts you. In high school football, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. You still have to execute. Not many high school quarterbacks are used to throwing this much, or the receivers used to catching the ball, so you can get away with it in high school. Hyde's going to be sacked. He never actually went down. Yes, I guess he did officially go down. And Crestwood's going to take a timeout here. It's going to be 3rd down and 16 after the timeout. Let's see if we can figure out. We got a couple of our fearless crew members down on the field, one with the parabolic mic and the other one a handheld camera. See if they can find how much time's left for us down there. Trying to hear what's going on down there. Take a look at
replay of this. Bates is wide open there, but well, actually he wasn't wide open.
Well, Jimmy Bates could break that tackle. He couldn't break that one, so this one is a lot less than I thought there was, folks. 23 seconds to go. 3rd down and 15. Remind you folks that are been with us the whole time or just tuning in, we'll be at John Glenn High School next week as the unless a big upset happens tomorrow afternoon, the 3-0 Rockets will be facing Livonia Churchill. Horvath out to this side, found out to the far side. Under 20 seconds to go. Pyden just in all kinds of trouble. He throws it to Jimmy Bates. I thought Bates was on the ground, and Bates breaks it outside and on his feet. And I don't know if Crestwood has any more timeouts. They don't.
This could be it right here.
It can't be less than any more than 10 seconds to go. It's 4th down and 2. Pyden just throws it, and they're going to flag. What's the flag for? Well, that was 4th down anyway, so doesn't really matter a whole lot. Yeah, but it was 4th down. He can't stop the clock. He's got to get the 1st down. And again, they set up the screen. It's a good call. I mean, I wish Crestwood would have done some more.